Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Cinnamon Stitches. I am your yarn host Jennifer. Today is Monday, a dreary Monday. Actually, I'm filming this on Sunday because there's no way you'd have a video at 8 a.m. if I didn't pre-record it. But I digress. On Monday I come on and I show you what I've been working on in the past 7 days, give or take. The whole idea is to give you an idea what I've been doing. I also give you a life update, a blog update. I will put that on the end because a few people have not been real, and I understand it. As a fat girl, I understand it. They don't want to hear about your weight loss or your journey to weight loss because it makes them feel bad about themselves. Been there, done that. So I will put that at the end of the video so you can enjoy all of the goodness in the beginning. And if you don't want to hear that, I will give you a warning about the life updates about to start and you can cut the video off. No need to unfollow, unsubscribe, dislike the video. Not that a lot of that's been going on, but I just know how it is. And I'm mindful that not everybody wants to hear that. There's been no negative Nellies or anything like that. Just when I do a weight loss update, somebody I lose like 3 subscribers every time I mention it. So, and then I gain 10. So it doesn't make a difference in the long run, but I want to be mindful. I don't want to be putting that in people's faces. Anyway, so I'm drinking water. Apparently that's empty. I just took my last sip. There's just ice left. I'm really, really tired and I'm dragging today and it's dinner time and I'm so tired that I had to force myself to get up here and do this video or else we're not going to have a Monday Makes video, and I'm really, really excited to share with you what I have made this week. So I put on my big girl pants, otherwise known as the, what is the name of this top? This is wool. This is Fredericksburg Farms wool, because I know I'm going to be asked every time this appears in a video lately. People are like, oh my god, it's beautiful. What is it? This is basically the Spring Fling t-shirt, but in wool. And if you wanted to get like a crocheted version that's similar to this that is made with like granny squares instead of double crochet, you can check out the Autumn Sunrise tutorial. Same kind of idea. They're built the same, just different stitches. They're both tutorials here on the channel. And then you can make one and be beautiful just like me. So, this week, I put out a video last week. I think it was Wednesday or Thursday that I was really struggling to get anything done. I was working on this, which we will talk about in a minute, because I ran out of yarn, but I improvised, and I love the way it turned out. This will be a tutorial coming up on the channel. We will discuss more in a moment. And so I was fighting this because I was designing it, and the designing process is not for the weak at all. It is, sometimes it's a lot of trying and failing, trying again. And it also, like you guys know, if you've been around, there's a lot going on in my life right now, and I was struggling to just do basic things, and so this gave me a challenge. But once I made an alteration on it, it went a lot faster and it was more enjoyable. So that I'm keeping, I have all my notes written down in my Lilo N Stitch book. The pattern, the tutorial, all the show notes are in there. And I say show notes, but it's not show notes. Did I write down what hook I used? I did not. 4.5 millimeter. Although, with all of my tutorials, all of my patterns, you do not have to use the same hook that I use, because we're sizing it off of our body and we can use whatever yarn we want, but you know, we'll get to that. So I was struggling real hard with that. I could not sit down and crochet. And I'm going to say it's an ADHD thing, but it's also a stress thing that I could not focus, could not concentrate, could not. And this is another, well, this kind of falls in the long of oppositional defiance disorder, which I believe that I also may have, because my son pretty much does. He's not been diagnosed with that, but I'm pretty sure, like, we have to finagle him to get him to do things and finesse him. Because the more you tell him, and I both, and this one of you, Debbie, actually pointed this out to me. She's all, she was calling me out on some of my behavior. She's all, that's ODD. And I was like, oh. I still have not went and got the official diagnosis. Honestly, I'm trying to tackle one life thing at a time, so I'm putting that off until I have everything else in line, because I just can't handle one more thing right now. And we're fine. Everything's fine, but, you know, just giving you updates. So I'm struggling. And the more I'm struggling to try and talk myself into doing it, the more my brain is like, no, we don't want to do it. We're not going to do it. This is torture. We're not going to do it. And so there was a fight going on in my head where Jen is like, come on, brain, get with it. Come on, body, let's function together. And the brain was like, no, we don't want to do this. We don't like it. And also the fact that I knew I was running out of yarn. I was getting stressed out about that. And I mentioned in a video, I had a couple of people say, what yarn is it? I have some. Or I think you stuck it in the speckled bucket, which is right here. It's not the speckled bucket. This is speckled yarn. I do have more of it. I just have it in a different colorway. I only bought 3 balls of this color. And you can see that it took more than 3 balls. But I have the exact yardage worked out. This is a 4X. It is bigger than it needed to be. She's a 2X, but it looks beautiful on her, but there is a lot of extra material on the side, like a lot. But it looks pretty on her, so yeah. I have she's also a little damp because I had to block her out a little bit. And no, that is not Granny Stitch, even if it looks like it is, it's not. It's shells, and it's beautiful. Isn't it pretty? Anyway, Q Oreo. Just wanted to be in here with Bentley. Good talk. So I was doing a lot of fighting that, and I noticed when I'm stressed out, when there's a lot going on, I just can't do the thing that I enjoy the most, which is crocheting. And I don't know why that is, but I had expressed that I was going through that, and I even picked up my cotton yarn because I'm like, I just need an in-between project. I'm not one of those people who can have several whips going at a time. I give myself extreme guilt about not finishing it first, and I think this is, my dad drilled this into me growing up. Like, you need to finish what you started, period. And I'm not good at finishing what I started. Well, at least I wasn't. When I was a child, I would quit mid-project, and it's a quality my husband also has. Like, he will get almost to the end and quit. Doesn't matter what it is. I'm kind of the same way, but it was drilled into me so much. You got to finish what you started. You made a commitment, you're going to follow through. And that is like in every project. I made a commitment, and then I was putting pressure on myself. Like, I imagined some stupid timeline that I was making up in my own head, trying to follow. You got to get done because you got to film the tutorial because you promised all your people. And the pressure of that makes it even worse that, oh, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. So I pulled out my cone of cotton, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to make not a dash. I'm going to make a hand towel for my downstairs bathroom because I need one. Because there's a little tiny hand towel in there. It's not good enough. And so I needed a bigger hand towel for in there. Because, like, all the hand towels are dirty right now. And I have not had time to even do the laundry. I'm going to be real honest. Except I did wash and dry that. So I guess I do have time. I just have not made time. And we're just going to... When Mr. Cinnamon is not home, there's less pressure to get certain things done. And so I just kind of... I figured he's in a hotel living his best life, sleeping all day. Today and yesterday, which is Saturday, Sunday. He has nothing to do. He doesn't have work to do. So he's been just like, he goes out and goes to the store and then he comes back to the hotel and takes a nap. And I'm like, well, if he's going to be living his best life, I'm not going to put pressure on myself. I've barely been cooking dinner. Me and Juju had salad from a restaurant last night. Delicious. It's a BLT salad. It's bacon, tomato, and lettuce with ranch. That's all it is. It's real simple, but it's so refreshing. And I could only eat half of it. I gave the rest to her, and she ate mine and hers. but it was really good. I ordered little man a hamburger and french fries, and he was happy. And then tonight, little man made himself Hot Pockets right now, so I'm like, all right, well, he's clearly not gonna eat dinner. And I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna cook because she works till closing tonight, so it's just the three of us. There's no pressure to do laundry right now. Me and him don't have to go anywhere. Juju's an adult, she takes care of her own stuff. It's just me and Lucas. Like, I'm chill. He's upstairs in his room, laughing at himself, doing what he does, playing on his plastic bucket drum, doing his thing. So I'm like, pressure's off. But I do need a hand towel for the downstairs bathroom, so I pulled out the cone, which I have used this for a couple of things. It seems like these cones never go away. I've never seemed to use a cone all the way through. And I have another cone up there that is missing the cone because when Bentley was a puppy, he would steal all the cardboard. So he would take off with a whole cone of cotton and squish on that with his teeth until he got the cone out, which grosses me out and gives me the heebie-jeebies that he does that. I can't even think about it. It gives me goosebumps. He would pull the cone out and leave the cotton for me. So I have a cone of cotton up there with no cone. So it looks just deflated at this point. But I've made quite a few things with this, and it just never goes away. So I decided to make a hand towel, which took me... Hand towel usually takes me about 45 minutes, start to finish. If it's a really intricate design, maybe an hour and a half for a hand towel. By the way, I have several tutorials on the channel here for this kind of design. So in case you're curious, just search Cinnamon Stitches hand towel. It'll come up. I worked on it for about half an hour every night before bed, and I'm like, why is this taking so long? Because I would crochet a couple stitches and put it down and doom scroll on my phone. Or Mr. Cinnamon would call, so I'd video chat with him after I did a few stitches. Or I'd get like into TV, and so I'd put it down because this was my bedside project. And I would like glaze out at the TV. And so there was a lot of that going on this week. This hand towel took way, way longer than it should have. And it's not pretty. It's not pretty. Like, the ends are weird. I would get bored doing a stitch, and I'd be like, this far in, I'm like, I gotta switch the stitches. I can't do this anymore. That's how stressful the crochet world has been in my brain this week. Just constantly, and I can't do this. I said that to myself 8,000 times this week. So we started off with this stitch, and then I moved to this stitch, and then I just did half doubles, and then I did a little bit of this stitch, and then I did doubles, and then I liked this style towel because I hate dealing with buttons and all that, and to get this over like a rack, you just put it over the rack, or I have circle towel things, and you just feed the towel through. It's that simple. And I do believe I have a tutorial for this type of towel on my channel. Just think of it as a big towel hole instead of a buttonhole. So this is going to go in my bathroom, my downstairs bathroom anyway. And when I completed this towel, I felt like I had really succeeded at something, and then I felt pumped up to get started again. And so I'll fold it up. Then I really started to muscle down on that. And I used the cotton sprout. This will absolutely be a tutorial on the channel, so I'm not going to show it up close, because I have absolutely had people go, oh, I'm going to make a tutorial that's exactly like her design and pretend it's theirs. That's happened. I can't even count how many times over the years, so I'm starting to, I started with drawing last year, where I stopped showing things up close until I did the tutorial. So that if their design comes out after that, I'm like, well, it's obvious that they're a copycat, but like, that, it's not even that big of a deal. This is something really special, and I worked really hard on it, and I just want it to be ours. Okay, so I used the cotton sprout, but like I said, did not have enough cotton sprout to complete this. I had 3 balls in this colorway, which is Surfboard Cotton Sprout Speckles. It's the DK version. You can also use worsted weight. It's not going to make a difference. You're measuring it off your body, so it will work. I used some of the Cotton Sprout regular, which is the DK in the color yellow. And then this beautiful color down here, this blue, is just cotton from the Dollar Tree. Because it says it's a 4-weight, but it's the same thickness as the Cotton Sprout. This is the color turquoise. And the yardage I used for a 4X. Okay, so you want to make this and you want to prepare. This is DK weight yarn, so it will different. The yardage will be slightly different depending on the yarn you use. If you want to go up to a 4-weight, just make sure you have about 1,000 yards for a 4X. Just make sure you have enough, or even a little more, so you don't run into the problems I have when I'm designing something. I'm like, oh, this yarn's perfect, and then I don't have enough of it. Could I have ordered more? Yeah, but it would have taken me too long to get the yarn in time to finish this in order to start the tutorial in the time frame that I made up for myself. So I used 1.1 thousand yards, so 1,100 yards for a 4X, and it's on the big of a size of a 4X. It's actually a little bit too big for me even. So 1,100 yards of a DK weight cotton for 4X. And I always get people asking, well, how much for an extra large? How much for a large? I don't know, because I'm not making one in every size. I'm not going to do that. That's what designers do, and they do the math if they're doing a pattern that someone pays for. I can just estimate. I can take an educated guess and say from an extra large to a 4X, I would have at least 1,000 yards. 4X, I used 1,100, but I'm also tall, and I have... my stomach is saggy, so I like my shirts extra long. From an extra large to a 4X, at least 1,000 yards of a DK weight. If you're going to do a small to a large in this, I'm going to say 600 to 800 yards. But I can only guesstimate that unless I actually make that size. And then for the tutorial, I am going to actually make this probably in a size 2X. And I think I'm going to measure it off of her body because she's a 2X. And I think it will save me a little bit of yarn and time, but also because I'm losing weight and because I kind of made this a little too big for myself, I kind of want it to be in a smaller size, and for all of those reasons. But I'll give you the measurements if you have a larger size you need to do. I will tell you how to measure it off yourself. I will teach you all of that in the tutorial, which I will be starting to record today while you're watching this. I will be recording this throughout the week. But yeah. I have not named the pattern yet, the tutorial, and I'm not showing it up close because, like I said, I don't want nobody trying to copy it and beat me to the punch with the tutorial because, you know, there's people that are stupid enough to do that. Now, isn't she pretty? Kind of love the colors, and I was really stressed out because, like I said, this level here hits me because I'm very long torsoed and everything is sagging. This level where the yellow starts, it would make a severe crop top on me. As it is, the blue part comes just at my hips, and I probably would have made it a little bit longer if I wasn't so tired of making it and I hadn't run out of the blue yarn to even make another row. But this was almost a full ball of the yellow added on, and then it was several balls of the Dollar Tree blue, but I also added blue up here on the top. So, and this is the same color as this blue, but this blue down here is wet, so it looks darker because the water's dripping. I had to block it to open the stitches up a little bit because it was like real tight. So I wet it and I hung it up. And so that is the beautiful, beautiful tank top. Like I said, I'm going to make a few alterations in the design when we do the tutorial. So, and these are the details that nobody's going to notice except me. But we're going to change it up just a little bit from this because I noticed a few things were tripping me up really bad. So we're gonna fix that before we make the garment. If you want to make it out of the cotton sprout, please use my Premier Yarns link. That does help the channel. a lot of times I use the Premier Yarns affiliate money that I get back from you guys purchasing the yarn, and I put it right back into buying yarn for tutorials and stuff like that. So I actually was able to do that this week. I was able to score some of the sale cakes and stuff because so many of you used my link, so thank you so much for that. That hasn't shipped yet. I assume it will probably ship on, well, today in your world, Monday. And then we will have a yarn unboxing. I didn't order a whole lot. I just ordered a couple things that were on a really good sale. But like I said, 1,100 yards for a 4X of DK weight cotton. So then the next thing I did, we have a buffalo update. So if you recall, there's a whole buffalo series on the channel. And I have been, Oreo's trying to get out. I have been vlogging my way through processing the buffalo. So I bought buffalo, which is, it was raw fluff, the fibers from the buffalo that they shed naturally like in the springtime. And someone donated it to the Creative Reuse store in Harrisonburg. What is it called? What is it called? And I don't have my phone to check. It doesn't matter. Anyway, she had the buffalo. She advertised it on her Instagram, and I immediately that weekend I ran over there to buy said buffalo fluff. It ended up being way more money than I thought it was going to be, but I just happened to have a gift card that covered half of the price of the buffalo. So the buffalo was expensive because buffalo fluff and buffalo fibers are not cheap. Anyway, I took and I have filmed and shown you the process from making the fluff that was in a big bag. It was really dirty. It had a lot of like soot coming off of it. I hand carded it, which means I took two of the little paddles, the little tiny paddles that I have, and I combed them to get the dirt out of the fibers because it was really, really dirty. And it actually filled the bottom of my Home Depot bucket with just soot. And the buffalo kind of was stinky. And I'm like, I paid way too much money for this buffalo for it to just be stinky. And then I put it in a scented garbage bag to kind of get some of the good smell on it. So even now, it has not been washed. It still kind of smells like the scented garbage bag. It needs to be washed though. There's still a lot of soot in there because buffalo fluff, I mean buffaloes roll on the ground. They live in the dirt. They take dirt baths. Like, Ponyo? Ma'am. She turns around, tries to give me her butt, and then puts her head like down on her face. Come here, ma'am. Come here. Alright, don't come here then. She won't let me pick her up. She's like rolling around on her back. Did you miss me? Did you miss me? You came in to bust in the door. Can I pick you up now? Up. Come here. You gotta come here. And Scarlet. They're all in here. It's bedlam. Just don't pee on my carpet. Oh, Bentley took her out. Go get him, Scarlet. Go get the dogs. Go check on Ponyo. Take Ponyo outside. They're all out for now. Alright. Yes, we're free of dogs. And then I put it on my big drum carder, which is right here. And we spun it around and that was a video, and we combed it out. It has been a process since I think October or November of us taking this raw, dirty, dusty, dingy, stinky fiber and turning it into usable yarn. There is still one process left, and I'm debating I might ply it together so that it's two yarns twisted together to make it fluffier, but now looking at it hanked up, we just might leave it and wash the heck out of it. So yesterday when I finished my beautiful tank top, I looked at, I had two bobbins filled with the fiber that I spun. Ponyo, we're just gonna leave it open. I decided to take the wool off of the bobbins. I put it on my umbrella swift, not a shift. And I made a hank so that I can wash it. This is between 8 and 10 ounces of buffalo. I'm assuming because these hold 4 ounces and this 2 bobbins worth. So I'm going to say it's between 8 and 10 ounces. You know what? Weigh it, because I might be way off. I'm just guessing. I'm just guessing at this point. That's grams. Milliliters. Ounces. What, Lucas? No, sir. Alright, it says it's 5 ounces. Which is way less than I thought it was going to be. 5 ounces. It is 160 grams. Way less than I thought it was going to be. So that's going to be about another 160 grams. Good thing I measured that. I can estimate how many yards it is based on the grams. Lucas, I'm recording. Can you please be quiet? So I hanged it up, and honestly, it looks rough when it's in here, because what I'm seeing is like some of the ends and the parts that didn't get spun down as much are really prevalent because they kind of stick up towards the surface. It looks really fuzzy and gross. And then when I put it into the hank form, look at how sparkly that is. It looks, look, it looks better like this. And there's still a kink to it because I overspun parts of it. That's overspun. Parts of it are underspun. I had a couple points where it kind of like broke apart. This fiber was incredibly difficult to spin because it probably needed to be thoroughly scalded and washed out to get the crap out of the fluff. I combed it and I carded it and I got a lot of dirt to fall out of it. But even when I was pulling it to spin it, there was a lot of stuff just falling out onto me. And I've learned a lot from this whole process. I learned I don't ever want sheep. I don't want to deal with that. I thought at the beginning of this, because I was spinning fibers that were commercially brushed. All the fibers are going in the same direction. They're smooth. They're all the same staple length. It was so beautiful to work with. It was an easy process to spin. And because this is so raw, and because buffalo is so many long and short little pieces, and the hay that would randomly be in there, or like the surface dirt that was falling out, it was incredibly labor intensive to just spin it. And specifically these last 2 bobbins, I actually feel like I rode a bicycle for 10 miles because it was hard to spin, and my leg definitely has a workout. Like, my leg hurts from hip to toe from doing the spinning pedal. 3 hours last night, I got a bobbin. 3 hours today, I got another bobbin. It was intense. And also, I need to take the wheel apart. There's an issue, and I don't know what it is, but the wheel itself is wobbling. And I keep tightening things up and trying to adjust it. And it's such a fine-tuning thing to get your spinning wheel to, especially when you're doing a difficult fiber that does not draft easily, because it's dirty. The fibers are all different lengths. All of these things, I just don't want to work with fiber that raw anymore, ever again. I did it. I succeeded. But there are some things that are just not worth doing again. And if I sold this, if I resold it, To give you an idea, this was gifted to me, and this is an absolute treasure to me, which is why I haven't used it yet, because it's just, buffalo is so soft. This is 100% bison. It is 28 grams. This retails for $65 on current market, and this is not hand spun. For 28 grams. This is 160, what did I say, 162 grams? Do the math on, if you took this and did it by that, so 28 grams is $60. Let's see, so we'll round it up to 30, 60, 90, 120, 30, 40, 50, 150. So that's 30 times 5 is 5, 10, 15, 20, 20. No, I did that wrong. My brain is so slow right now. Normally I can cut these, and I don't even have my phone in here to help me not look stupid. Do the math. You don't have to put it in the comments to make me feel dumb, because that will make me feel dumb. Because my brain is like, what? What did you... I don't even remember what I just said 2 seconds ago. The money just for this, it pays for what I paid for the fiber. Okay? And I have another whole hank here that's gonna work out. But it does need to be washed. It does not feel real great. It was soft brushing it, combing it. It was soft for the most part spinning it, but in the hank it feels dirty and it's not real soft, and so it needs to be severely washed. And I'm also going to do these two together as one hank. And I just think I was going to apply them together to make a thicker yarn, but I think I'm so set with that. This is about a worsted weight for the most part. There are some parts that are probably bulky. There are some parts that are probably super bulky. And there are some parts that are probably fingering weight, because that's just how that went. And that part apparently fell apart, so we're going to put a little tie there. There we go. But it's done. I finished it. I accomplished something. I am going to wash it, dry it, take it up, and I think I'm going to make a cardigan. And what was an entire filled bag with fiber is now 2 hanks worth. 2 very fat hanks worth. But I did it, and I'm glad I did it, and I feel like I really succeeded, but I don't want to do it again. It was a lot of work. I'm still going to use the drum carder to blend colors and make my own fibers that way. I am still going to use the paddles. Possibly, I may even buy raw fiber from another fiber festival in the future, way in the future. I don't want to process the wool from a fleece or anything like that. Probably for a long time, till I forget what this felt like. Because it was like I said, I bought the fiber in October or November, and it's March. So it was a good long process just to get it to that point, and it's not even done yet. I still have to wash the heck out of it, and I'm probably gonna wash it 2 or 3 times, because I got a lot of the surface dust out of it. But even pulling it to draft it, there was stuff falling down on my muumuu. Yes, I bought myself a really pretty muumuu, and I've been wearing the heck out of it, and it makes me feel pretty, and it's so comfortable. I got it from Walmart. It's beautiful. The cinnamon buns, the paid members of the channel got to see it. It's got to go in the washer now, though, because I've been spinning with it on my body. But yeah, we did it. It's done. It's ready to be made into a project. And of course, I will continue showing you guys the process of. I don't think I'm gonna film washing it, because I've done videos where I washed yarn. There's a video called How to Deal with Stinky Yarn or something that I made, and it just shows the process of washing yarn. I'm just going to fill up the bathroom sink with probably hot water and soap, and I'm going to swoosh it and swoosh it and swoosh it in there, and I'm going to let it soak. And then I'm going to pull it out, and I'm going to squeeze the water out, and I'm going to run it again to rinse the soap out and let it soak. And then I'm probably going to repeat that process 2 or 3 times until the wool feels soft. And then we will crochet it into what I would like is just an open lacy cardigan or something. I have told you guys. I don't remember if it's a members video or this in this format or the members videos, but I really do. There is a local farm that it's a buffalo farm. They're in Culpeper. I think it's Cibola Farms. They're a butchery, so they do butcher the buffalo, which I'm not going to criticize because I've eaten buffalo and it's delicious. I don't want to see a buffalo be killed because I love buffalo. I think they're beautiful creatures. I know they're bison. Okay. I'm always going to call them buffalo. And I just really I've wanted to go to the farm for a very long time. I would like to check out the store, and I would like to take pictures and do a video at the farm of me wearing buffalo, because I just think that's going to be cool. And so that will be a field trip, but I'm not in a hurry or a rush for that. And that may be somewhere down the road, like quite a ways, because it's going to take me a while to figure out what I want to do and to put the time into making myself a garment doing that. So that is what I have accomplished this week. I designed a tank top, start to finish, and finished it. I made a hand towel, and I spun a whole bunch of buffalo. I made myself exhausted. Now, here's where the life updates come in. I'm going to talk about things that are sensitive to some people, and they don't want to hear about my weight loss or my medication or my health, and they don't want to hear about my family life. That's cool. You can end the video here, and I will see you tomorrow. And God bless. Or if you don't believe in God, like nature bless, or you bless. I don't push my beliefs on nobody either. In case you're new here, I don't do that. I don't think there's only one way of believing, and I don't think any one way is correct. 100%. Now with that, health update. We're going to start with the health update so I can get out of the way, because I am noticing that, in case you don't know, if you haven't been here, I am on a weight loss / diabetic medication and it's a once a week shot. And I started it 4 weeks ago today. So today, while you're watching this, I will be starting the next up dose. So they up the dose every month until I can't tolerate the higher dosage. I have lost 20 pounds. When I checked in with the cinnamon buns last, it was 17 pounds, but the next day I woke up and it was 20 pounds. I've lost 20 pounds in the past 4 weeks. And I am noticing that the medication has a very specific track of symptoms. So I take the shot on Monday. And on Monday and Tuesday, I'm exhausted and sometimes have all over just achiness. And I've been talking to one of my friends, and she said she started a medicine and she felt like she had the flu. And I was like, yeah, that's what I feel like the first 2 days of the shot is I feel just exhausted. Can't really do a whole lot. I've been kind of a crybaby since I started this medicine too, like crying for no reason. And then on Wednesday and Thursday, like my stomach acts up real bad. And this week it kind of altered, because Wednesday I felt okay. Thursday, Friday I felt kind of sick. So it switched this week, but generally, like, it's really reliable that I'm going to have 2 days where I feel just exhausted. 1 to 2 days of just stomach issues. And then Sunday, I feel completely like a normal person. And today, I feel like I'm tired today, but I think I'm tired because stress. Doing that buffalo for 6 hours in the past 12 hours. And so the past, well, not in 12, it's been more like 18. So 6 out of the past 18 hours I have spent at the spinning wheel. And the fiber was giving me so many problems. I had to go through and pre-draft it, the whole thing. So that means pulling it really, really thin strips so that when I was spinning it, it just kind of went into the machine instead of pulling it and drafting it while it was spinning. So while I say it was 6 hours on the spinning wheel, it was also another hour and a half of pre-drafting a whole bunch of it so that it would spin, because like I said, the spinning wheel was getting a little wobbly. I oiled her. She was squeaking and clacking, and so she was going clack, clack, clack. I'm like, all right, she needs to be oiled. And then she started to squeak a little bit, like, all right, the leather part needs to be oiled. So I've got the oil thing, and I'm spinning while I'm oiling, and I'm adjusting all of everywhere And then one of my strings snapped that holds the tension thing. And I'm like, it was just, the last leg of the buffalo just gave me a hard time. Ma'am, you gotta stop coming and going. No, come here. Come here. And this little thing, her mom's at work, so she's all up in my grill. She's still 25 pounds. I think she's not going to get any bigger. She still fits on my desk. She's the sweetest dog in the whole world. And she had a urinary tract infection. She had to be put on antibiotics. This is the second urinary tract infection she has had in her life, and she's only 6.5 months old. So I'm worried she's going to be one of those dogs that just has issues. But she's not my dog, so that's not technically my problem, but it kind of is because she lives in my house and she, you know. Can Grammy have a kiss? Thank you. Oh, more? I love you too. That's Grammy's puppy, huh? Thank you. That's enough. Between her and Bentley, they're constantly in competition for my attention, my love, my affection. And I called Poncho to sit behind me in the couch when I was spinning, because I spin on the end of the couch. I spin on the end of the couch. And I went like that. I was like, come on, Poncho. And Bentley jumped up and took her place. And he is 100, no, he's not 100 pounds. He's like 65 pounds. He's very svelte. He's not at all overweight. He's like this beautiful, his body is like sleek and like, can I help you? Do you smell the wool in my shirt? That's your belly growling, weirdo. Did it scare you? Her belly growled and she looked like, what the heck is that? That was you. Ma'am, that was you. She's still looking for where the noise came from. You went down. Alright, there you go. Anyway. So I'm down 20 pounds. I have pretty much figured out what the symptoms, the roller coaster symptoms are going to be in the medication. And I'm starting to get used to them so that I understand what to expect. I'm not pushing myself. Like if I know it's Monday and Tuesday, I feel real bad, I'm not going to do extra. And then this week it was really cool because my son, who is 10 and a half, he's homeschooled. In case you're new here, you didn't know that. I homeschool him. He took the initiative on Thursday evening. He went in there. I was in here recording a video for Friday, and he went and got on his computer and decided to take the initiative and do his schoolwork for Friday on his own. And he's learning some pretty complicated math, but like, he's so smart. He just gets it before even I do. And so he's learning faster than I am learning. We are deep in the depths of geometry. And I've taken geometry and was successful in high school. And I remember a good portion of it, but some of this stuff is new to the geometry world and it was not taught when I was in high school 20-some years ago. And so he just catches on to it so fast. I went in there to go edit the video for Friday morning and I'm like, what are you doing? Because my computer is now on the school desk, which is in another room, and he's at his computer next to where my computer is. I said, what are you doing? He's like, I don't want to have school tomorrow. You don't want to have school tomorrow? He said, I'm gonna do my schoolwork for tomorrow. Oh, awesome, because I really didn't want to do school tomorrow because there's just been a lot going on in the house. I was like, cool. He did all his schoolwork and I'm like, all right, well, no school on Friday. And then today again, he's like, I'm gonna go do my work for tomorrow, being Monday, so we don't have school on Monday. I was like, well, you're not really getting, because he wanted a 4-day weekend. I was like, it's not technically a 4-day weekend because you're doing school today, so that means you only had a 2-day weekend because, you know, you had Friday and Saturday off. He's all, well, never mind then. I was like, all right, good talk. And we're ending out the year, so his schoolwork is really stretched thin because he's already completed 2 full classes of science, aced them both. He has succeeded with his English so far in advance that I actually cut his class early and started working on different things in the English arena for him, because when we did the state testing a couple weeks ago, he was testing all of his English tested out at high school and college levels. So I'm not real worried about him going any further with the English this year, so I've kind of pulled back with that, and we're doing a different curriculum for English. It's all English, it's just I switched from what was on the computer to an actual book. And so he has less work now. I actually had to shorten the school year because he's so far in advance of everything. We were supposed to have school till the end of June, and now it's ending early May. And that's with a spring vacation that we have not had yet. So I gave him a week off in April, the end of this month. And so we will be finishing out, I think, the second week in May now, because I rearranged a couple of things. And it's so crazy. But it was really cool that he went in there and took the initiative so that him and I could have Friday off. Mr. Cinnamon is still out of town. He will be home this coming weekend. It's been crazy without him here. When he's out of town, he calls me a lot, which gets on my nerves. I mean, I love him and I miss him, but also he calls it the most, you guys know, he calls it the most inopportune times. When I'm working, when I'm doing school, when I'm cooking dinner, like not when I'm sitting down doing nothing. He calls when I'm busy. That makes me crazy because now I gotta sit down and talk to him, you know? And when he calls during school, like he's interrupting a school lesson. So like that bothers me because my son's not getting my full undivided attention, and it breaks my attention. And then when he calls when I'm recording, I have to stop the video and hopefully remember what I was talking about when I restart the video. I mean, it's not a big deal. If I'm cooking dinner or something, I just prop up the phone in the cabinet and I talk to him while I'm working in the kitchen, you know. But with him calling so frequently, my phone's been dying, and so it's just silly inconveniences of life. I'm glad that he calls me so much, and I adore him. And he actually called me yesterday, which was Saturday in my world, and he's all, hey, is there anything from Joann's that you wanted to get before they closed? I was like, not really. He's all, cause I'm over here by a Joann's in Ohio, and I was gonna pop in. I was like, you know what? If you see anything that is rainbowy, you can pick that up for me, because he brings us home stuff when he travels. So he decided he was gonna buy me something from Joann's. And then he went over to Menards, which is it's like a Home Depot or a Lowe's, but they like have way more extra stuff than just Home Depot or Lowe's. Like there's a whole pet section, and there's like groceries in there and like weird stuff, you know. So Menards is like its own thing. And it's not, we don't have Menards anywhere we live, but since he's in Ohio, they have them there. And so he's, I'm gonna pop over to Menards and look at the puppy section. And I was like, are you really gonna buy it? Because Ponyo, he loves animals. He's not real close to the big dogs. And when we fostered the babies, because Ponyo came to us because we fostered 3 puppies from the local shelter. And it was her, and she had 4 brothers in the litter, and they were brindle and fawn colored. And so there was Ponyo, Pete, and Andy is what I called them. Their official names was the SpongeBob crew, but we had her 2 brothers. They got adopted out, and my daughter decided to adopt Ponyo, which you just saw on my desk. And when we had the puppies, like I don't think he's ever cared for puppies that small. I've never cared for puppies that small. Like they were 4 and 5 pounds when we got them. They were little tiny things that fit in your hands, you know. There's videos on the channel where I have all 3 of them right here. And it was a learning experience, but we also, raising a puppy from that small and training her, and she's such a good girl. Everyone is in love with Ponyo. And even Mr. Cinnamon, who is, he loves animals, but he's not like that with animals. The fact that he wanted to go to Menards and buy dog toys that we all know are for Ponyo. You wanted to bring Ponyo home treats. He doesn't show favoritism. He feels bad that the other dogs are going to get hurt feelings, so he bought for all of them, but I know that the intent was Ponyo because he misses her, and when he calls me on video chat, my phone will be right here and Ponyo will be on me somewhere, and he talks to her more than he talks to me. And she likes to talk on the phone. She'll go up and boop her nose on the screen to give kisses. Like, she actually looks at the phone when you talk to her. She's a weird dog. We were also watching TV. Me and Ponyo and Juju was sitting next to me. And actually, I think she was on the chair with Juju when I was spinning. We were watching a video on Universal Studios in Florida just opened up a new park called Epic Universe. And they have a whole section on the cartoon How to Train Your Dragon. And they have dragons in the park. And one of them like will walk out and it's a baby dragon. And the baby dragon will interact with guests and like do tricks and stuff. And when that baby dragon came on the screen, Ponyo was looking at the TV and started growling and growling. She was not happy. She did not like the baby dragon. And me and Juju were like, oh, it's so cute. And Ponyo was like, rawr, rawr. It was so cute. But she is absolutely favored in this house by everyone. It's not to say we don't love the other dogs, but there's something special about Ponyo. There's something special about Bentley. But that, speaking of Bentley, this dog will not stop eating stuff that tries to kill him. I'm telling you. And because my daughter is not real good at putting her crap away, she's at that age where I'm constantly yelling at her, can you please come put your dishes away? Can you please put your... She has a snack bag. She keeps her snacks in a bag because her dad and her brother will steal them. And the dogs will eat her snacks, which has happened a few times. I learned last year Bentley's allergic to nuts. And he's allergic to nuts that if he eats them, he swells up and has a hard time breathing. So nuts have to be kept locked up in a place he can't get them. I have nuts that are in my couch because my couch has a lift up armrest. The dogs don't know how to get in there. They have never figured it out. And so they're safe in there and they're safe on top of the refrigerator, etc. She put her snack bag in the kitchen in the pantry that has 2 doors, and she put it on top of the deep freezer, and Bentley got into the cabinet, into the snack bag. They ate everything that was in her snack bag, the 3 big dogs, because Ponyo is crated when we're gone because she's little. We don't want her to get hurt or lost. He ate an entire bag of nuts. He ate... She had butterbeer Hershey Kisses, the Hershey Kisses, but the butterbeer flavored ones, which is white chocolate, so it's not as deadly as dark chocolate could be. And then they ate everything she had in the snack bag, which was like little fruit jellies and like, you know, she likes to have her snacks. She carries them around. Like her and RJ, her boyfriend, they snack together and like whatever. And she keeps them away from me because most of those things I can't eat because of my diabetes. And she came home, she about cried because like she doesn't work very many hours. Like she works really hard for the money she gets, and like all of her food was gone, and she was so mad. She locked the dogs out. She was just so upset. And Bentley decides he's gonna eat most of it. The reason I know that is because I cleaned it up when he got sick. All over my carpet. All over my carpet. And I was like, this is the 3rd or 4th time I've had to stay up all night with him because he was so violently sick. And because I knew he had possibly consumed nuts and his face was starting to swell, I preemptively gave him Benadryl before the symptoms got too bad. And after he got the Benadryl, everything in his stomach was all over my carpet in my bedroom. I mean, I saw just how many nuts he ate. And the foil from the kisses. And like, I had to get a dustpan to scoop it up in, because I have a standing dustpan that is like a box. And I scraped it and I dumped it. And it was so much it filled the dustpan. I'm like, dude, how much did you eat? The other 2 dogs were fine. So I'm like, was it just him that got into the bag? And I'm like, I'm so tired. I got mad at him. I'm like, I am so tired of you eating things that's going to kill you. Like, no matter what I do, you find a way to get to the dang food. And I love him, and I'm so tired of being sick with worry that my dog is going to die overnight, you know? And I know the vet is just going to induce vomiting, which he's already doing. So there's nothing the vet is actually going to do. You can give him charcoal, yes, but when he's having a nut reaction, charcoal ain't going to do nothing for the nuts, okay? So I gave him the Benadryl, and then he vomited a lot, okay? And I know this is a gross subject. I'm sorry if you're squeamish. He got back up on the bed, laid at the corner of the bed, and I'm guessing the Benadryl's the only thing that stayed in his stomach because he knocked out. He went to sleep hard, and he didn't wake up until 8 or 9 the next morning. And when he did, he sprung off the bed, ran downstairs, went outside, did his morning pee-pee, ran back up to my room, leapt full force on the bed like he's a flying dog, jumped on me, smacking me with his paw to get me to get out of bed, giving me kisses all over my face, bouncing around. And then Lucas gets up. And Lucas comes in there and he's going, whoa, 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 at Lucas. I was like, Lucas, he wants a kiss. Well, Lucas is playing with him at the end of the bed. And Bentley is jumping and barking all over the foot of my bed. And I'm like, yeah, you're clearly feeling better. Benadryl worked. And I'm thinking the Benadryl must have also calmed his stomach down. Because he's been fine since. The next day he ate little bits all throughout the day instead of eating it all at once. But he's not a big eater anyway. I was just like, oh, dog. Stop being sick. Just stop eating crap. And the last time I mentioned that he did this, I got yelled at by several people. Like, you need to I can put it up, but he is almost 6 feet tall on his hind legs. I didn't leave the bag out this time. And shit happens. Okay? It does. Like, dogs do stuff, and he's really smart, and he's really sneaky, and I realize there's going to be a day where he's going to get too sick, and I'm not going to be able to save him, and I try, and I yelled at my daughter. I was like, you need to put your food up. She's like, but I did. It was on top of the deep freezer and the pantry. I was like, you need to put it in your room in a cabinet that closes that the dogs can't get into, and if you need a lock for the cabinet, get a lock for the cabinet, because her bedroom stays locked all day. Because her brother goes in there and takes her stuff. So I'm like, keep it in your room. Does not belong down here. Because my food, I don't have anything aside from the nuts that are in my side table of my couch, which I gave to her because Bentley ate all hers. I have nothing in the house that will make him sick. So it's been a week. It's been a week. And I say that every Monday, but that's life, okay? Life is crazy, and life is non-stop going. And Joe from Joe's Web, I think it was, commented on one of my videos the other day, and she's like, life is like a roller coaster. You just gotta sorry. You just gotta ride it. You gotta hang on for dear life in the downhills, and just try and enjoy it. And nothing could be truer with life. Like, it's a roller coaster, and you never know what's coming next. You don't know when it's going to be an up or a down. I would really like a nice water ride at this point. Like, let's go on Small World. We'll travel around through the worlds, and it'll be nice and peaceful, no ups and downs. I would even settle for Pirates of the Caribbean, where there's like the 2 little drops. But no, I have Rock and Roller Coaster, or it's a crazy roller coaster. Like, that's just the life that I'm in right now. And I've always really loved that song, You're Gonna Miss This, because I realize that there's probably gonna be a day where I'm gonna miss this. There's absolutely some points in my life I'm never gonna miss, no matter how far past those events I have gotten. But I know when my kids are grown and there's only one dog in the house, I'm gonna look back fondly on the days of chaos and laugh at them. And I'm gonna miss the noise in the house, because so many of you have expressed that to me, that like, you miss the noise. You like hearing my son play the drums. You like hearing him run through the house being loud, because it reminds you of the days when your boys did it, or your kids did it, or And sometimes I do miss when the 3 girls were young, because for a little while everything was perfect when they were younger. But right now, I crave peace. I crave calm. I crave quiet. I'm going to say this quietly, so turn your volume up. I bought Lucas roller skates for Easter because I have fond memories of that growing up, and I know that he has a need for speed. He loves his bicycle. He has tried his cousin's roller blades, and he's not real steady on them, so I figured roller skates are a little better. And I'm hoping that will get him to want to play in the front yard again because of the incidents with the neighbors. And I'll be out there teaching him how to do it. And I'm really hoping that that's a positive experience for him. And I did that because I just don't like the Easter baskets and the candy that comes into the house. And it's not good for anybody. He doesn't do good with sugar anyway. He gets really crazy with sugar. And so I just wanted to do that type of thing for him. And I'm really excited. And I'll even let him roll through the house. Like, I have no problems. Like, the floors need to be fixed anyway, so, like, have at it. I have a full circle going through my house, so. When I was a little girl, my cousins, my dad's brother, they had a basement, and they had, it was a very open basement, and he had 5 kids. And some of them were already grown at this point, and some of them were teenagers. And we used to be allowed to roller skate in his basement. His kids did it. My dad did it when my dad was a teenager, because my dad's brother was significantly older than him. And we all had memories of doing that in the house. So I was like, that just sounds fun to me. And I let the girls do it. And I'm really excited about that. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with you because I'm like really excited they came today, and I need to open them up and try them on to make sure they fit my feet, because he has the same size feet as his mom. But I'm gonna let you go because my battery's dying. Hopefully we have a fun week ahead of us, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.